What's up, everyone? It's been a while. It's been a while, but I'm back. Oh, and happy 2020, you guys. Now, speaking of being happy, we all know there is a group of people out there who are never happy. They are never satisfied, and nothing in the world gives them more pleasure than ruining someone's career, life, or their favorite activity. These people don't create anything, they just destroy. And we call them social justice warriors. Now, I have been away for a while. I come back, check out the magical place called the interwebs, and what do I find? A new outrage. Wow! What a surprise! What a surprise. Now, to be fair, what is surprising is that this time around it's the Witcher Netflix series that freaked up. And I gotta be honest, I did not see that coming. The show has everything: race swapping, strong woman characters, changing history to make the show more diverse. So, what's not to love? SJWs should love the show, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. SJWs know this franchise has a huge fan base. And if there is one thing social justice warriors hate, it's fans and people in general enjoying something. So naturally, they are going to try and find something to complain about. So, what is it this time around, you ask? Well, The Witcher is ableist propaganda. Now you have to excuse me if I'm not saying the word right because I don't really care. Because ableist isn't the real word, now is it? Now I'm sure there is a white knight cock out there going, actually, I have been taking gender studies for 4 years and we have a book where nobody cares, alright? Listen, nobody cares. But, anyways, let's just go ahead and take a look at the outrage itself, shall we? Though the message was likely intended to be empowering, this plotline actually reinforces a harmful notion that in order to be successful, people must rise above their physical disabilities. Well, welcome to the real world. If you want to be successful, you do need to rise above your problems, may it be physical or mental problems. You do need to rise above them. It's just common freaking sense and common knowledge, really. It's not the tired or a harmful notion. And yes, the message is actually very empowering. Go and ask anyone with a disability. Go and ask them if they had a chance of changing how they look like or erasing their disability, would they do it? And I fucking guarantee you, all of them will say, fuck yeah, I will do it. These social justice warriors are just trying to score some virtue points by standing on disabled people or talking on behalf of them and not actually trying to be in their shoes. It's pathetic. It really is. Now, another one of them complains about Yennefer being transformed into a hot booby witch. Oh no! Oh God! How dare women look beautiful, right? How dare women make their own choices and look how they want to look? Isn't that sexist? I'm telling you guys, social justice warriors are always going against their own logic. Now, apparently, if a woman wants to look hot, she's not allowed to look hot. This is insane. The same people who are accusing us of being sexist are the real sexists. Ah, I don't, I really don't know what to say. So let's just continue, shall we? I was troubled by the use of physical disability as a backstory. Well, then, you are just a mentally weak individual, and we shouldn't care about your opinion at all, especially because you are obviously not a fan of the franchise. Also, stop talking about destiny. Why? Thank you for providing us with much needed reasons of why they should stop doing that. You are obviously not a fan of the books, not a fan of the games, not a fan of the characters, and you are obviously not a fan of the show. So, why should the show creators or anyone involved make changes to the franchise just because of you? Just fuck off. You know? There was also another outrage where people think the show is toxic because Geralt is basically a toxic white male, but I'm too tired to look it up again and take screenshots. I just don't care, to be honest. And speaking about being honest, I got to be honest. I thought the show was going to be absolute garbage. I started watching it thinking, let's see how bad it is. And I ended up loving it. I'm a huge fan of the Witcher franchise. I have been a fan since 2007 when the first game released. I have played through the trilogy countless times and I own most of the books, so naturally, when the Witcher Netflix series got announced, I was excited. I was giddy like a little girl after surviving another day in an American school. But being a huge fan, the more I learned about the show, the more I started losing faith in it. Now, hear me out. First, we learned that Yennefer got race swapped. Now, after watching the show, I have to admit, Yennefer is pretty much spot on. The butcher Triss, though, Triss is unrecognizable. But yeah, the race swapping doesn't end with Triss and Yennefer, though. There are loads of colored people in the show. Oh, but it's a fantasy world, I hear you say. Nah, that's not a good enough excuse for me. Yeah, it is a fantasy world, but it takes place in medieval Eastern Europe. If you think I'm racist because I want a more accurate depiction of the world of witchers and medieval Eastern Europe, then let me just say, fuck you, you're a moron. SJWs always talk about cultural appropriation and how important it is, but when it comes to Slavic culture, then it doesn't matter. Then suddenly it just doesn't matter. Fuck Slavic culture. Now, I was born in Eastern Europe and I have lived here my entire life, but fuck me and my culture, right? I obviously decided to give the show a chance, mainly because I had faith in Henry Cavill. What makes him the best choice is the simple fact that he is also a fan of the Witcher franchise, and you can clearly see it in the show because he knows exactly how to play Geralt, and he just nails the voice of Geralt, in my opinion. Not only that, but he actually defended us, the fans, in an interview. Take a look.
Sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played on Witcher 3, for example. I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
So, yeah, the race swapping annoys me a little bit, but after watching the show, I just love it. And it's one of the best things I've seen in 2019, and I highly recommend it. But that's it for now. That's the video. If for some weird reason you actually enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like or subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. And as always, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all the next time.